Welcome to the channel, everybody. Now today I have a Scum 0.95 and beyond news and updates video for you all, and it's an important one, so make sure you stick around till the end. Now let's jump straight in and see what the devs have been up to over the past week. Right, so first off first, as usual, programmers, and they've been working on the global RAID protection system, code review, bug fixing, working on the new NPCs, working on dropship functionality, prisoner movement refactor, and working on the quest logs. So a lot of important features that are obviously going to be coming in with 1.0, including NPCs, dropships. Hopefully we'll see this movement refactor maybe before 1.0, but if not, we should see this with 1.0 for sure. And obviously those quests, which, I mean, most of these things should change this game completely, especially for the PvE side of things. It's going to open that up massively, especially with quests, NPCs, dropships. It's going to give some new life and energy to that side of the game, you know, which I think we need to focus on more now. It's been a very PvP orientated game for quite some years now, so it's nice to see that more of these PvE elements are now starting to come in, and we should see more of these in the future, even after 1.0 as well, which is nice. But up next we have level design, and they are adjusting encounter spawns, reworking POI layout, and a lot of bug fixing as usual. So as we know, there's going to be a lot of bug fixing, polishing going on between now and 1.0. We may get some sort of bigger patches between now and 1.0. I would assume we would, but again, there's been no sort of layout of what's going on, any dates or anything like this, so we're going to have to just go week by week at the moment and see where the devs go with it. But it is nice to see that they are still adjusting those encounter spawns to really sort of balance out that new encounter system. Alright then, so the next team is the art team, and they have been adjusting foliage, working on the SKS animations, on the quest assets, working on the modular vehicle assets, motion capture for the new trailer, and bug fixing. So I'm going to assume that the motion capture is for the bigger sort of 1.0 trailer. I may be wrong, as I said obviously last week when we saw the smaller sort of newer trailer that came out. It was obviously due to marketing reasons. You know, they're really trying to push this out now, obviously in terms of GRAHICS Gamepires. They haven't really done much in terms of marketing for Scum as such, so it is nice to see that they are starting to get a roll on that as well. Other than that though, there is quite a few different little bits going on. They're still putting in a lot more vehicles. We should see these starting to sort of roll in now. All the old vehicles hopefully should be back in before 1.0 stage. Other than that, quest assets are still being worked on, and a lot of bug fixing, which is nice to see. So let's move along to the sound team, and they've been working on bug fixing and sample recording. So there's been a lot of work with the sound team, obviously with bug fixing. In general, they were doing a lot of denoising last week as well, so we should see some improvements in that within obviously the next patch, unless they do it within sort of shadow patches along the next couple of weeks. Now we do have QA/CM. Now this doesn't change much from week to week, but in case you're new here, I'll go through it with you quickly. They are responding to player inquiries, player insight surveys, hunting and banning cheaters, Steam general discussion and bug reports, testing of upcoming features, and various bug reports. So there is a brand new website now. The link is down in the description. You can go to a support page on that website and you can actually report a bug straight from there with attached files and a description for them, and that will go straight to the devs. Obviously if you want to go over to Steam general discussions, bug reporting, you can still report your bugs over there as well. Now we'll move on to, last but not least, the design team, and they are working on the new GDDs or game design documents and working on that quest design. So again, design team has been working on this quest design for some time now, but hopefully that is a good sign that it is a rather large feature or part of the game, which would be nice. I don't want this quest design after all this time to be, you know, something very simplistic and small. It would be nice to see this really blow up the PvE side of the game. So the last bit I want to go through quickly, which is the more important side of this week's dev update, is a community address from Beta. Now I'm not going to read through this whole thing for you. Obviously if you want to pause the screen and read through it yourself, or if you go over to Steam and look at the dev update, it's right at the bottom of this week's dev update and you can read through it yourself. But I will just point out a few sort of highlighted things from this that they're trying to get across. Now they have admitted obviously that the communication has been lacking from their side for some time now. But in this letter, he does obviously state that they are listening. They've always listened. They've always read and collected feedback from everyone, and that will never stop. When you look back on the whole development of this game, you know, the devs have been very community orientated when it comes to stuff. You know, they do listen, and they do want what's best, not just for the community, but for the game also. The biggest state of the game that they feel right now is obviously Hordes. They know that it's not working as intended. They are aware that it's obviously a brand new system. It was going to have some issues, but they didn't expect it to be this bad. Alright, now they have looked into it quite a lot over the past obviously several weeks, and they have found obviously a resolution to this, and it will be resolved in the next update. Alright, they have stated that obviously the encounter manager is here to stay. They're not going to revert back to the old system, which I think is the correct move. As they're saying, it's from a, you know, an optimization standpoint, a performance standpoint. They're going to have quite a lot running off of one system, and it's going to take some time to sort of get through those teething issues, you know, and that's what the devs need from us. They need that time and that patience from us, and obviously that ongoing support that we've all been showing over the past, you know, 5-6 years of development. So the other thing that they've mentioned obviously is vehicles. It's been a long time since obviously quite a few of them have been out of the game, and they just want to reassure us that all of them are being worked on and they are coming back. Okay, there is a little hint there, they are coming back. Hopefully that means that the crafts will be coming back next, but we do know the tractor's obviously still being worked on. But if you watched last week, they are having a few issues with that, so we may not see that just yet. And obviously the last thing, and probably one of the more important things, is cheating. Okay, they understand that the cheating in Scum is quite prevalent, and that they are not obviously happy with it, are they? So when it comes down to anti-cheat, they've upgraded a ticket system. They've obviously got their new website now, bug reporting system, all this type of stuff as well. They've got devs that are on officials and admins that are on obviously hunting and banning these cheaters. They have got new software coming out and new things coming out in anti-cheat, but obviously they're not going to give too much away, because then people that are writing codes to combat this anti-cheat aren't going to know what's coming out straight away. Look, there's a lot coming obviously to Scum over the next course of a year to 2 years. You know, the development's not going to stop when we hit 1.0. So the main thing right now is just to give the devs some time and patience, okay? And you know, I've been saying it for weeks, but it really is needed. And obviously just help with the development. If you come across bugs, send them over. You know, even if it's a brief little thing, just send it across. It really does help the admins, not the admins, sorry, the devs get a massive understanding of what's going on. Alright. The best thing probably about this is obviously they are going to be communicating more with us now. Okay, so we shouldn't feel like we're not being heard or we're lacking that communication, which is really nice to hear. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. Now, thank you very much for your time, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our channel members. Thank you very much for your extra and ongoing support. It's always appreciated. Now, if you want to join them, you can do. Head over to the channel, hit that join button, and see what perk suits you best. It all goes back into the channel and gives you all a better viewing experience. But of course, if you want to support me in another way, you can do simply by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And that way you'll stay up to date with all the latest Scum news, guides, and all that random content I like to get up to as well. Until next time, see ya.